Hey, what up, everybody? It's your boy Loser Lou, sitting in the back of the room, chilling on the west side of San Antonio. So it's like 56 degrees today. It's January, what, 3rd, 4th? January 5th. I'm off. So I'm pretty excited today. I usually don't do these like one-on-one, but I'm I got Bodega Man in the building.
What's going on? How you living?
Man, thank you for sitting down. Thank you for doing this with me. I love your business. I love what you do. I love that like there's real snacks like in the hood. You got the best beer selection in the West Side too. For those of you who don't know, Bodega Man owns a business called Jefferson's Bodega. If they want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
Instagram is generally the best place for us. Also Facebook, but you can just Google Jefferson Bodega. Will pop up.
How long have you been in business there?
Just over 3 years now. On November, sometime mid-November, we hit 3 years.
Sick. Has it flown by?
Yeah, man. It's time is a weird thing. So not to get like too deep about it, but like in a way, it feels like yesterday that I met you and it was COVID and we were handing out food boxes, but also that feels like 10 years ago. So
Right, yeah, time is wild like
you know
that.
what I mean? So there you go.
Man, it was all love since the beginning. I remember I walked in there and I saw like his place. I offered to bring him a picture and he hung it up. I think it's still there.
Right on the spot, yeah. That's still, and it shows fur, which you know what's up. If you know from San Antonio, you know what's up. So yeah, it's actually like from the start, the whole point or a philosophy of the business was going to be about love, like integrating that. So it's at every level. We're cool to the vendors, straight up. Also, I come in with my money right when I'm going to buy from you. It's correct. I don't hardline you on the negotiations. We agree on a price and we move on. I tip the guys that load the car. The kids that work for me, we feed them. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna eat good too. So whatever I'm eating that day for lunch, whatever we're ordering, you're gonna have. That's my whole point. So that's not. We haven't even gotten to the customers. You know what I'm saying? Like so, the whole idea is we took from our time in the military and all the different businesses.
When you say we, who's we?
My wife. So that's Bodega Ma.
Shout out.
And the 51% owner of this business and the true heart of the thing. I'm the brains behind the business. I thought of this whole thing, like I do the design and all, like, the concept and all that. But she runs the show. And she's like, I got a lot of friends that are always like, oh, I want to start something like that or whatever. And I'm like, just remember my secret weapon. And they're like, art? And I'm like, no. And they're like, music? And I'm like, no. Oh, you know what products pick? I'm like, no, my wife, man. Like, if you ain't got a number two like that, it's about 100 and maybe 200% harder.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
But yeah, so she runs the show, and it's the two of us.
that's amazing.
Yeah, and we get to work together, and that's the whole thing. Is like, in all the different industries we work for, there were different things about camaraderie. Like on Wall Street, there's a really tight team thing. So there's a lot of like stabbing in the back on Wall Street, but it's usually inter-teamed. Or it's about performance. So when you hear the stories of stabbing in the back on Wall Street, it can also be viewed or spun a different way where it's like these are all the most elite teams in the NFL and only one of them can win the Super Bowl and they're all going to compete doing what they do, which is hardcore financial trading.
How long did you do the Wall Street thing?
Oh, all in probably about 8 years. But at the peak of it, I was at Bear Stearns right until the collapse. Yeah, so that was and I was on the credit derivatives team, which is, sort of like at the heart of the financial crisis.
That's all German to me, bro.
so at the heart of the 2008 financial crisis was basically real estate. And what imploded in real estate was a specific area called credit derivatives. And at the heart of that were 2 or 3 firms, Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns. I was at Bear Stearns as the number 3 employee on the credit derivatives trading desk. When it imploded, there were a couple hundred of us. And that's what it was like. So yeah, it was at this, but I've got a weird lifetime of being at the epicenter of crazy things going down.
Sick.
And yeah, like as an observer, like.
Well, I mean, it's always good to be at the right place at the right time, even if it's the wrong place at the wrong time.
Man, look, I lived less than 10 blocks from 9/11. Like I lived through it. You know what I mean? The whole aftermath, the dust, the crying, like my office was 6 blocks. Lisa was in the basement. My wife was in the basement. Has a receipt. Still, we have a receipt from 10 minutes before the first plane hit.
Wow.
She was eating breakfast down there. She had to leave early for a meeting. Her 2 friends didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how close we were.
Crazy.
I was in London when Diana died. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy stuff. Like the implosion of Wall Street. Like, I happen to be like at the firm when it
Working
goes down.
there.
Sometimes I wonder if it's me. No, I don't want to be like egotistical. It's not about me, but still, so you know.
There's definitely something following you.
Some butterfly flapped his wings, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Like we have this knack for being at the heart of stuff, and in everything, whether we're in the military or whatever, there's always these different parts of it that are about camaraderie and team and love. So we tried to take the best of everything we've learned, and try and put that all like as part of the philosophy of business. Is we're going to take care of the team, we're going to take care of our vendors. You know, like if you're a FedEx guy, you get a free drink. You know, like just because you dropped off a package. If you're cool, if you're not cool, you don't even know that happens. We're not going to treat you bad. But your friends are going to be like, yo, do you get a free drink? What do you pick? And they're going to be like, I don't get no free drink because you were a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, but we're not going to say that to you.
But the thing is, like, you say that, but I don't see anybody being rude to y'all. Y'all are so welcoming. Like, I don't know if it's just because I've known you since you started it or whatever, but, like, every time I walk in there, like, it's like, what up, Lew? Even if y'all are busy.
No, like, so, look. I'm going to, like, the outward facing me when I want to tell you it's all love. And the truth is, part of that business philosophy that I'm talking about, philosophically, on paper, written down, is we will only discuss the love. So you're not going to hear the bad stuff. Like on everyone's Instagram, if you look, they put like, hey, you know, someone broke our window or whatever, or we got robbed. You ain't even going to hear that. If it happened at my place, I'm going to take care of it. If I can't take care of it, I'm not in business. You understand?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, look, I don't even, people tell me all the time, you said happy birthday to me on my post on Facebook. That's the thing is like, all I got is good words. There's enough bad words. There's enough bad whatever. So, you know what I mean? Like you can go elsewhere if you have some kind of political, angry, whatever. Like that's cool too. Like God bless, go with God. Like I don't have anything to say about whatever your opinion is. But the thing is just one spot for one time where none of that bullshit matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and we're just trying to keep it real. So you have to work to keep it simple.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
you're right.
It's hard to do. And so part of that is that the reason you don't see or feel that is because we handle it real quick. If it's not a great interaction, we should try and get it out the door, move on with your life. And the truth is, I don't want to teach you any lesson. Just forget I exist, bro. Move on. You know what I mean?
Hey, who would want to forget about the man with the snacks? Look at this. What's this all about? Like, what are these snacks?
So this is what we call the You're Awesome box. And this is a box that we make for random people and we drop them on people all the time. Probably do about 2 of these a week. We don't announce it. It's not broadcast anywhere. It's just if you're kind of doing something awesome, you're on your grind or hustle or whatever, we drop off one of these boxes with snacks that we think not only are awesome, but are kind of like uniquely selected for you. So in here, I'll just show you a few of like my favorites in here.
Yeah.
I'll give you the quick tour of.
I saw those cakesters. Those cakesters are something else.
So these are a must try. If you haven't done it, it's basically like a ding dong, but in Oreo flavors. It's incredible. The only problem with these is that you can eat like 6 packs of them. You know what I mean? Like these, they go down. You know what I mean? Like these are ridiculous. This is of all the wrap snacks, and it's tough to say because I really like the wrap snacks a lot. Quick plug on wrap snacks. So wrap snacks were made to give people in the industry like an ongoing living. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you've ever watched Behind the Music, you know how the story normally goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bought 8 Ferraris and now they're broke. And so the whole idea is to have some kind of sustainable income, especially if you got into a bad record contract or something like that, and a network of like-minded people that you can talk to. And so...
Crazy. I didn't know that about the background of rap
snacks. Look, that's why I'm always saying this. A lot of times, because of the way they're branded and the way they brand, it comes off like it's some kind of like ultra cool or hip hop thing. But I think what we're forgetting is there's a community focus on this that is like good for people. You know what I mean? And the second thing that I like to say about them that is unexpected, rap snacks, is that they're really high quality. That I found unexpected. Normally, I would expect a brand like this to spend all the money on this guy's face and none of the money on the chips. The flavors are great, but really it's the quality of the potato that is fantastic. It competes with a lot of international stuff, and I don't say that lightly. As you can tell, I eat a lot of this stuff. So yes, Wrap Snacks all the way. I'm a huge fan, big fan of Wrap Snacks. These in particular, this is like, there's a lot of exotic crazy flavors. This is kind of an OG one. That's why we brought this for you. It's my personal favorite right now. It's the Snoop Dogg barbecue cheddar, and they're like cheese doodles or cheese curls. What's really nice about these is it's like a just slightly spicy barbecue. Like there's a little hint of like black pepper, barely there. So this little heat aftertaste with the barbecue and cheese. I didn't know I needed this in my life, but it's a flavor I can't forget.
Fuck, you're a great salesman.
Man, I'll tell you what I tell everyone. Look, I don't sell anything. I'm really into this stuff.
Yeah, man, you can tell you're passionate about it.
And the truth is, like, if you're not, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Right? And if you are, I hope you love it. But like the truth is, I never want anyone to feel like I'm trying to sell anything. Like the truth is, because if you don't eat it, someone else is going to eat it, or I'm going to eat it.
The way you describe it's amazing.
Yes, thank you. Okay, these are pods from Australia. Basically, it's like a tortilla cup, like a little scoop. Only it's made out of like a thin chocolate cookie, and then it's got the candy embedded in the middle. Wow. In this case, British Mars candy. It's just kind of a mind blower. That's why I thought, very original. Then this is the straight up turkey leg, which, San Antonio classic. Like, we love ourselves a turkey leg. So this is American turkey leg style Korean Cheetos.
Wow.
Yeah. There's something about like
No, you're good.
There's like a poultry, salty, cheesy. I don't know, man. Okay. This one was Lisa's. Insisted I put this in here for you. Now, again, don't get caught up. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, man, it's Cardi B, and however you feel about her, whatever. Sorry, it's Nicki Minaj. You're going to be like, it's Nicki Minaj, whatever, however you feel about her. But what I would like to talk to you again about is the flavors here.
Yeah, man, I'm not going to discriminate any of these packages.
Like, and I'm always saying that. Like, it's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't hate on the package, or, like, don't, a closed mind closes doors.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, this is just a barbecue flavor. It's got a nice barbecue taste to it. Again, good chip. But they hit it with truffle. And the truffle brings in an earthiness.
Oh, she was on that truffle butter song.
That's what I'm saying. So she actually has like 3 different flavors, and they're all truffle. Okay. And so, yeah, it's really well played. Really well played. Okay, the Hostess, this is a honey bun, but it's a devil's food cake honey bun.
Whoa, I didn't know they had any other flavors.
That right there, that's my favorite thing to hear.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Okay, this just dropped. These are fire. That's the Twix and the Milky Way.
You just made a post about these.
Yes, this is the cookie dough.
Oh my God.
So there are
God blessed.
There are strong feelings on these on both sides of the fence. I'm curious what you think. This is Pepero. It's my personal favorite.
Is that like Pocky?
It's like Pocky, but they come in like a lot more different flavors. So this one is like a white chocolate with embedded bits of almond. Oh, wow. It's just it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a higher end snack. If you haven't had the Asteroids,
I have never had any of those. I see them all the time.
Yeah,
I've never had them.
Again, it's filed under must try. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. This I love. My mom was always trying to get me to eat, those Rice Crisps. I'd be like, get me Chips Ahoy, and she'd be like, how about, Pepperidge Farm Rice Crisps? That's what these are. Only they're Fruit Loops
or Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, Fruity Pebbles. They're incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. Yeah, like they go right down. I love this one. It's Doritos Bits. So you never see Doritos in other shapes. And in addition to the other shape, it's from the Netherlands, and this one has like a honey barbecue side to it.
Oh, wow.
It's just kind of something else. Smoking accessories. Had to have a few, we're coming to lose spot. So this one, Bodega Mod said he needed, just loved the design on it. It seemed like a disco kind of guy.
Disco Lou.
The sugar cane right there is fire. It's just a really nice, like, plain sweet flavor. So it doesn't overpower whatever you might put in there.
Wow.
This is one of the clear ones. I actually hate these.
Yeah.
Clear tubes. I can't, man. Call me old. I don't know. I can't get with it.
Really?
And I feel like I sell a whole bunch of these. So please continue to buy the clear ones if you like them. Don't take this as a bad endorsement. I like to roll a little bit more natural than that. But
Yo,
anyway,
that's super cool. You're being honest about what you're selling. Like, that's what's up.
And that's actually our whole vibe is like, that's what I mean by I'm not selling is that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know,
I mean, what you're making available, you're on it. You have opinions about it,
and some of it's not for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's for other people. So anyway, maybe you like them, maybe you won't. These are my favorite. I had to throw this in here. Look at this. This is the Michael Scott Rolling Paper Company.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Dunder Splifflin Rolling Papers. This was a must try.
Hell yeah.
And there ain't fancy papers or anything, but
But that's just funny. The paper company.
Yo, I saw those at the distro and I was like, yo, Pat, bring them on. What else we got here? Oh, Fruity Pebbles bar.
Wow, I've never had that.
The magic of this is how they kept the Fruity Pebbles crunchy. You know what I mean? Like it's legit like a Fruity Pebbles and milk kind of bar.
Wow.
I know, that's solid. These just dropped today. It's a Ritz waffle cheesecake thing. I don't know yet. Haven't even tried it.
Oh, wow.
And then these are Oreo bars. They're cake bars. Oreo flavor, vanilla, and chocolate. And then I got you. This probably sounds stupid, but I'm on a lollipop kick lately. Like, I don't know.
Yo, I'm a candy fiend.
Oh, man. I've been on this
I'm a candy
kick.
fiend, bro.
So I brought you some of my favorites. This is it's like a fluffy stuffed cotton candy lollipop. And then the blue raspberry blow pop, which is just fire.
Let's go.
And then you also have to try the cream savers if you haven't tried them yet. Got you a couple stickers here. Sorry, I don't want to cough in your mic.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
And this one is a goji berry based wrap. Kind of nice. Yeah, we have a whole line now that are goji berry based wraps. So there's hemp and there's tobacco. Now people are coming out with like fruit based, like smokable fruits. I know.
Wow.
I know this world.
So when you started the shop, did you expect to like? Was exotic snacks like in your mind with it?
No, like,
or was that like created like while going along with the original vision?
I always like to say it's born of like disaster and failure.
Okay.
So like we were gonna be cool and we were always gonna do something different. Like we had music and we had the art up and stuff, and we had a lot more like regular products. But COVID came, and what happened is like people came in like nobody wanted to talk about Cheetos. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, do you have toilet paper? My family's dying. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, I got these cool Cheetos. Like nobody's feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, Haagen-Dazs has a new flavor. Like, and they're like, but do you have bleach? But for real, like how much bleach can I buy? How much? And I'm like, and then what happened is people started, like, a couple of things happened at once. The first thing is like people started DMing me and saying, hey, I can't go to the stores. I'm a nurse or whatever, or I'm terrified. Like, I'm not going out. And I'm always, they knew I was at Sam's shopping for store anyway. Like, if you happen to see flour, or my dad loves Coke Zero, could you pick up whatever? And I was like, bet, I'm out already. And so I had these shopping lists. I had our store shopping list, and then the list for like Sam, over on Alexander Hamilton Street, blah, blah, blah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and we just started doing it, and we would keep the thing behind the counter, and whatever it was they ordered, we just keep it behind the counter, and they would come pick it up through the day.
Wow.
At the same time, the requests were really for things like eggs and beans and stuff. So I started researching how do I find eggs and beans, and we made relationships with farmers, direct farmer relationships. The first time we got eggs, they showed up with flats. There's like 30 things of eggs in a flat thing in a box and stacked high. And I'm like, where's the cartons? And they're like, Gringo, they don't ship the cartons too. like the farm was gonna have that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh, I'm so bad at this. Like, but so for real, the first couple of weeks, people would buy, well, how much is a handful? And they would walk out with like 4 eggs and tell their kid, you grab 3, and like we're walking with eggs, and that's what we were doing. Yeah, people would bring their own cartons. We would get beans. I got beans, but I could only get them because for a while you couldn't get beans. We got beans by the big old burlap sack. Yeah, and I was in our kitchen pouring little baggies of beans, It's the only time in my entire life I ever broke up baggies like that.
Oh, wow.
Beans. So, and then the toilet paper, like, nobody in town had toilet paper. So
yeah, I remember that.
I started writing everybody, like, who's got toilet paper. And 2 things happened. First is I started getting people write me back and like, yo, we didn't have any toilet paper problem in Korea. I don't know what you're talking about. I got pallets of this stuff here. And the other thing, and so all around the world, Ireland, Korea, We got toilet paper from France, from Vietnam. I got a lot of toilet paper from Vietnam. Man. Oh man, the jumbo roll from France, it says like jumbo all over it, and it's like jumbo, right? Like all over it. It's like, triple X, blah, blah, blah. It's like this big. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Man, it's smaller than a fist.
Wow.
Like, you French guys, with the bidet, right? It's a bidet. So anyway, a lot of Canadian toilet paper. Anyway, and then the other.
So these are just distributors.
Yeah, and like stores, restaurants. These are like anyone I could find that like sold stuff or was able to sell stuff. And I was using a lot of Google Translate and that kind of stuff. And started writing people and asking if they had any kind of toilet paper or whatever. At the same time, some of the restaurants that were closed and stuff like that couldn't do anything, so they would give us toilet paper. So we always had toilet paper for the community. We never raised the price of toilet paper. That was the whole idea, and we never ran out. Wow. We had toilet paper every single day. That was around the time I met you, actually.
Wow.
And so what's happening now, and again, like we were talking about time earlier, right? Like, looking back on it, again, this makes perfect sense to me. Like it all sort of fit this way and just became this way. But you don't even think about it really until you start talking about it. Now I see how we evolved to where we are. So the same people, when like the toilet paper crisis abated, right? Is the same people that we were working with. I was like, well, I don't really need toilet paper anymore, but I really thank you. You really helped me out. Like, do you sell anything else? Can I help you at all? Like, Yeah. And some of them be like, well, I got these weird Cheetos. And I'm like, bet, send them over. You know what I mean? And so we failed our way to here. You know what I'm saying? We failed it. And that's also why we get, there's an exotic snack circuit, but we get different stuff than that. We get a lot of that same stuff.
Yeah.
But we get stuff that you don't even see at the exotic places because we're getting it genuinely from international spots.
You see, like I'm spoiled knowing it. Like not only because of this, but like I've been to like an exotic snack bodega in across town. Wasn't impressed. Went to another one in Denver. I'm looking around. They had cool stuff. It was nice, but it just wasn't as big as a selection as you had.
Yeah, and they're usually they're a little cliquey, so it feels like a snowboard shop or a skate shop when you walk in, and like you kind of joined, like this weird party that you're not a part, like. And the whole idea is look. It's not even about the snacks, to be honest. It's about kind of what happened during COVID.
Yeah,
it's about the love, and so the thing that I come to realize is before I did this, I was on like a speaking tour. The last 2 years of my career, all I did was speak and teach and stuff like that. I did a TED Talk. You can look it up if you ever want to fall asleep.
What?
Look up my name. Yep. Down here in San Antonio, did a TEDx thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna peep that.
Yeah, go ahead. If you need to fall asleep, like I say.
I have trouble sleeping.
Good. So here's the thing: is I realized, in fact, you could almost see my eyes in that TED Talk. You can almost see it like. I realize I'm like preaching in the choir. Like, y'all are with me already. But how do I reach the me in Harlem in 88? The streets are filled with crack. You know what I mean? Like, how do I know art and like anything I put my heart to really could be a career? I could get out of here if I want. I could go see the world. But where I was at that time, I didn't know that. Same when I was in Jeff. I'm a little kid in Jeff staring out the window thinking, this shit is boring, man. These people are talking about history I don't even care about. Like, this is it?
So you've lived in the neighborhood,
yeah. So when I
if you don't know, Jefferson's Bodega is right down the street from Jefferson High School.
Yes.
It's in the hood.
So let me stop right there and tell you that story really quick.
Okay.
All right, we take a quick tangent and tell you. I grew up in New York City. The school I went to, it's what's called the Graffiti Hall of Fame. It's on 106th Street between Park and Madison, and it's a sunken schoolyard with really high walls around it. And that, like, we're talking like 12, 14-foot walls that are all murals that are always changing out. So I've watched, like, the OGs, like, Tats Crew, putting up their shit. And that, I fell in love with that at, like, 8, 9 years old.
Sick.
Hearing kids in my class, like, making beatboxes, like, it was a whole other era.
Yeah.
And I'm skateboarding when, back when we're evolving from the mini skinny skateboards to the wide skateboards. It's just a different era. And eventually I start getting in trouble because I'm getting more and more into the culture. And by about 15 years old, I'm getting in a lot of trouble. And my mom ships me off to live with my dad, who's a former Marine and a former fireman here in Texas. And that is going to be culture shock.
Yeah, I bet.
So I come down here with my long hair, my skateboard, and CBGB, and I'm ready to fight the world, and I'm expecting this whole the whole city to hate me, and I'm ready to fight the whole city. That's cool. And instead, from day one, it was love. From day one. So everybody was cool with me. I was like, well, you don't get down with my shit, and they're like, well, show me your shit. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or, well, does anyone skateboard? Yeah, we skateboard. And I'm like, well, I couldn't even find people to skate with in New York. But down here, it's no problem. And so, I went to Jeff, right? And immediately even the friends I have, when I say, lifelong friends, my friends from school, they're from the 3 years that I went to Jeff.
I get that, yeah.
I was here, I guess, sophomore year through senior year. Yeah, and then I stayed another 6 months to a year, and then I joined the Air Force. And so I was only here that little time. But that actual store, the Jefferson Bodega, is literally that building is first place I ever tried a Chinese candy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the first place I ever tried a sour strip. In fact, my skateboard is behind the counter. That's the deck that I came down from New York with, and I used to get kicked off that property with.
Wow.
So we keep it now on the property, be like, kick me off now, motherfucker. But that's actually the point. Is the whole point I'm trying to make is I realized when I was speaking in a TED Talk that me wouldn't listen to me. I wouldn't even know about that. The kid me wouldn't walk into a gallery. And if you're Banksy, say, how do you speak to that kid? Because Banksy has the same problem. Banksy is tired of rich art patrons being like, oh, I love your work. He's really trying to reach the people. That's the whole point of his whole approach.
Oh, yeah.
So what
I mean, he has.
But
I feel that.
Once you hit a level, he has to you and to me, but not to the kid that's 14 years old in school. You know what I mean? Because he's already old people stuff. Or, you know what I mean? Or he's already rich and famous. So the thing is, I was like, how do I reach people that need to hear it? And I was thinking I want to get out of, we want to retire earlier, get out of what we're doing. We were both working at USAA up the street here. And we both kind of wanted to get out and find something else. And we looked at all these different things that were for sale. And then we saw this for sale. And I was like, that's my little corner store around the corner from my dad. And I love that building. You ever seen it? And she's like, no. And I said, let's go check it out. And then I wrote down this crazy idea I had for it, which was the concept was a convenience store, but it's so exclusive and awesome that you could almost have a red rope. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I follow you and I'm in. And here we are. So... yes. Then we made this cool convenience store, right?
All I gotta say, there's no red rope.
Right. No. But that's the idea, is that you would feel so
I do feel that it's exclusive. I mean, come on, you got
that's the idea.
You said stuff from the Netherlands?
Yes. Oh, that's one of my favorites.
That's a trip. That's a trip to think that it's just cool seeing Cheetos in different languages.
Yeah, you know what? Quick story on that. We had a family in a couple weeks ago. And they bought some of those Doritos from the Netherlands. And I'm like, do you know we have a cousin who's now in the Netherlands? He's stationed there or whatever. And he's always complaining there's no good snacks. And now we're going to send him from Texas snacks from the Netherlands that he should have been buying all along. That's dope.
That is dope.
But that's what I mean. It's all about experiences like that. And that was what I realized is that, so Oliver Wendell Holmes, of which the high school here.
Yeah, Holmes High School.
Yeah. So it's named after Oliver Wendell Holmes, and he has this great quote where he says that the mind once expanded to the size to consume a new idea can never contract. So chomp on that for a second.
Yeah.
Once you have learned something, you cannot unlearn that. Once you know your girl cheats on you, you can't unknow that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the knowledge is like that. The mind is expanded to consume a new idea. It can never unknow that idea. And that's powerful because that's bigger than teaching. Teaching is kind of trying to broadcast something. This is learning.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's coming from the whole other angle. And so I realized in all my speaking and stuff, and I'm trying to put out a good message, but I realized I'm speaking. But I need to get to the people that are learning. The people I'm speaking to already kind of know. I'm they're learning some new techniques and stuff. But really, how do you get to the kid to let them know you could own your corner store one day if you wanted to? I thought, you know what? The way I like to speak is by doing. And so here we are.
I feel that.
And so Oliver Wendell Holmes is still there because the idea is when you try, a Doritos from the Netherlands, it's harder to hate. You know what I mean? When you're in there and you like a hip hop song, it's harder to be like, you know what? I don't like them rap music. Like, it's harder to be like that after you've heard it and you're like, oh, you know what? This one's okay.
Yeah, like this is dope.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You don't hate it all
yeah.
anymore. You know what I mean? Going back to, we were talking before we got started. We were talking about a guy that we call Keystone, right? You and I
Oh
were
yeah,
talking-
yeah.
So
So if you don't know what Keystone Light is, I don't know. You carry the Crusher. I think that's another brand, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Is it Keystone?
Yeah, so Keystone is in this tier of domestic beers that, like, look, I don't like to diss on what anybody likes, but it's the domestic beers that are more inexpensive than Bud Light and stuff like that, right? So you can make your own assessments and judgments. So now we're rolling for a bit, right? We've been open through COVID and all that. And I got one guy keeps coming in, you know, we helped him out with the toilet paper thing in the beginning. He's like, if only y'all carried Keystone, if only y'all carried Keystone. And I was like, sir, if you look around, you know what I mean? I got like Cheetos and Doritos from Korea, you know, like I got all kinds of cool craft beer. Maybe I could show you awesome Texas craft beer. And he's like, son, I drink Keystone. That's all I'm ever going to drink. That's all I ever want. I drink Keystone. But I love you. I love y'all. Love your store and really want to shop here. And so we carry Keystone for this guy.
That's
Literally
amazing. That's
yeah.
dope.
And we call him Keystone because I haven't learned his name yet, and I forget everyone's name anyway. And he hasn't learned ours. He calls me Bodega Man and her Bodega Ma, and we're totally cool with it, right? The whole point of me telling you this story is, and I didn't finish it in the beginning, so now you get to hear the epilogue, right? So Keystone's been coming every day for 3 years now. Great guy, awesome dude. One day, and I always have like food trucks and stuff outside, and you know, got all this stuff. Every now and then we're trying to get him to try something, but he's like Keystone. That's all he wants, Keystone. So one day I got a Filipino food truck out there, and I got like a pancit dish, you know, which is like the vermicelli.
Yeah.
And then I also got him some lumpia, which is like the little egg rolls. Yeah. And I got a whole bunch for the staff, and we got a little too much, and so I send Keystone off with it because he happened to walk in right when I'm passing out the food. Sorry. And so I'm like, hey, Keystone, you want some of this Filipino food? And he looks up, he takes it, and he goes, man, I don't think so, but I convinced him to do it. And he says, you know, I don't even think I've ever tried any Asian food before. Now, this guy is like 56, 57 years old. In his entire life, he's only lived here in San Antonio. In his entire life, he has never had Chinese, Japanese, never mind Filipino. He's never been to a Chinese buffet, never been to a Panda Express, not one time ever. Wow. And so here's my point. He tried it.
Hell night. Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for. That's it, because I honestly believe, back to what Holmes said, is that now, no matter how that guy feels or what twisted politics he's got or doesn't have or whatever, I know one less amount of hate.
At least you tried.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what that's about. Is I believe that as you experience things and experiment with new things, it opens up your mind. And as your mind opens up, that's potential and possibility.
Yes.
The opposite is like how I grew up, is feeling trapped. There is no way out of this. You know, like if you don't, and what happens when you don't have options is you start to become destructive, whether self or to others. So that's my whole way of like spreading love and good, is doing it through, you know, Pods Candy.
Jesus. Jeez. Like
it's a big thing, but
yeah. I mean, I just love how it's more than just snacks. Like,
yeah, it's so much more.
Man, thanks for coming on this, man. I know I've been bugging you about it for a while. I didn't bug you for a while. Like, I'm happy you got through all the things with.
Oh, thank you.
With that, it's amazing to see still you're here.
So I went through some hard stuff. For those that don't know, I had a pretty serious heart disease and needed a bypass surgery. Thank you. I'm doing great. Going to the gym. I'm eating healthier. Quit smoking, drinking a lot less fun these days. Going to bed early, but the truth is I actually feel fantastic.
That's good. I mean, that's what it's about.
I feel kind of like I did 10, 12 years ago. Energy's back. I was just, the other day I was at the doctor's office and I had to go get the car and I ran up the stairwell, taking them 2 at a time again. I was like, damn, all right. I didn't know I still had that in me. I'm happy, So yeah, I'm doing all right. Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah. So that too, it's funny, like, when you meet death and he knows your name, You know what I mean? He knows where you live, knows your address and everything when you meet him. Like, and he already knows you. Like it changes what you do after that. And so to me, it's only just redoubled what we're doing. So what I mean by that too is it's funny because people are like, oh, you're going to expand. You're going to make like another location or you're going to like go worldwide. It's actually exactly the opposite. I'm now more sure than ever to not do that. Because the thing is like, here's what I've realized. This is it. This is the good old days. You know what I mean? You never know that while you're in it, right? And the way
you never realize it.
Yeah, the way you mess that up is by like, oh, you know what? Let me do 2 more. Let me hire a bunch of employees. Look, I'm working with my wife, who is also my best friend. Listen to music that we love, selling things that we're into to people that we love. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I've done a lot worse for less. You know what I'm saying? So we're good.
Man, you hit it on the nail when you said like these are the times, like these are the good old days.
These are
like
right.
Like we create the good old days.
That's right.
And we get so wrapped up in like I get so wrapped up in creating that I forget to realize that these are the good days.
This is it, man.
Like I guess that's why I take pictures. Like I want to remember the good days. Like I look back on my past and like I don't got too many photos of like being a kid and shit like that.
Yeah, right.
Like now, like I guess that's why I'm always taking pictures now. Damn, I've never really like thought about it like that.
Check this out. The generation now, 40 years from now, the kids that are like 5, 6, 7, 8, they're not going to have any pictures. Because someone would have had to have thought to carry that picture through phone after phone for 40 years and stay alive and in the relationship with them. So a lot of the photos are going to be gone forever. And so, again, what's left are moments and memories. And I really felt like, especially during COVID, it created all these negative surprises for kids. Oh, hey, guess what? You can't see your grandma. You know what I mean? Like, and it's tough to explain why.
Yeah.
And you can see your grandma 10 feet away. You can't go to school. You can't play with your friends. And it's like one after another, like the left and right punches to the kids. As adults, we had a hard time processing it. But the way we think about the kids is a lot of times like, they'll adapt, they'll learn. You know, that's because it's hard enough for me.
Yeah.
But I was very focused on like all this negative surprises for kids. What is that going to do a generation from now when I'm dead and gone? It's just, you know, I have a hope for that to make Earth and mankind better. San Antonio, at least, you know what I mean? We got to represent. We got to be way better than we were. And that's hard because we're awesome. You know what I mean? So we gotta come strong when I'm gone. And so to that end, that's when we decided to create the Bodega events. And the idea is I don't advertise the events. We don't make a schedule unlike everybody else in the world. There is no schedule to go check out. It makes it very frustrating for the press and for sometimes our people. But what I can tell you is almost every time you come to the Bodega, something's going to be happening. So events we've had so far. We had a young entrepreneurs market. We had a foam dance party. We had a petting zoo, another petting zoo this Sunday, by the way.
Oh,
absolutely
badass.
Free. San Antonio Symphony Orchestra played a concert out there. We've done multiple rap videos, model shoots,
Bodega After Dark.
Bodega After Dark, the OG. I did an amateur rap roundup show. We've done live blogs from in the show. We've done all-female entrepreneurs. We've done Selena markets. We've done Nightmare Before Christmas market. We have a 90s theme market. And you never know what you're walking into. This month alone, we have a blood drive coming up on the 14th.
That's awesome.
And we have a Lunar New Year where we're going to repaint all the murals again.
Oh, wow.
And all these events are free. We've never charged anything like that. We don't charge the vendors either. The whole idea is to create positive surprises to counter the negative surprises.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. And that's my point. When you don't have photos, when you don't have anything, what you do have is these positive memories that help inform you when you're deciding what kind of person do I want to be in this situation. Hopefully you reflect on those positive things that have happened to you and you do something positive. It's that simple.
Man.
It's crazy. I know it sounds like a lot for a candy store. You know what I mean? Like, and it is a lot. Admittedly, it's like a lot of worry and thought and everything, but we really want you to have a good time. And not just like you had a good time in the store, but like that you fundamentally feel like that was a good experience and a way to spend your time. And I'm actually, and I keep talking about spending time because that's the expensive part. The money comes and goes, whatever you pay for the snacks or whatever, and you get the money back, whatever, but you never get that time. So I'm always honored when somebody decides to spend their night off or their date night or their time with their family when they're like, let's go do this. That's what, to me, that I have to live up to every day. Store's got to be not just clean and fresh and nice, but I want them to know that was cool. You know what I mean? I want dad to feel like, damn, I made a good decision. You know what I mean?
I just love all the stuff you have hanging in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like a gallery in a way.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, it's the whole thing. How the front's sticker bombed? That's so dope.
Our favorite thing is that it's all organic.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We have a variety of people. We have people that like sneak up in the middle of the night and they're like, sticker bomb. And we have other people that come and like, excuse me, sir, would you mind if I would have put a sticker? Like, of course, man. It's that, you know what I mean? Like, how you going to see that and still ask permission? But I love you. You know what I mean? That's awesome. God bless, you know? But what I've loved, we had a guy come. He said he was from California. He's a photographer. And he's doing a book about small business. And again, so we don't even get, I don't get anybody's business card. I don't answer the phone. I don't have a website. It's just all organic. Either you're part of the vibe that day and it happens and it's awesome or not. And if not, that's cool too. So one day it was this guy comes by, this just a couple months ago, and he says he's writing a book. He's from LA. He's writing a book on small businesses around America. And he spent hours taking pictures of all the poles and the ice cooler because he pointed out, we didn't even realize, it's actually like a legacy of small businesses in San Antonio through the past couple of years. Some that are completely gone, some that have gone through name changes, and you see both stickers, you know, and it's kind of tells its own story in a way. And now that's what we're most proud of, is that it's organic like that. If you feel like you want to slap up, well, we're honored you would put whatever your thing is there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I love that very few people have taken out the pen. Because it's, you know, there's a lot of crossover in the culture of the
claps. Oh, man, on the cool, I don't think anyone wants to disrespect the spot.
You know, like, a couple people, look, man, listen, in every party, there's a knucklehead. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Every now and then, but they generally get it eventually, and they don't keep doing it. You know what I mean? But, like, I also like this, people, they don't slap up on other people's stickers. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about that same thing inside the store, that mutual respect. And I kind of really love that. What's funny is, same with the murals, is the artists all donate their time to repaint the murals over and over every year, like different murals going up there. Everything up has been sort of donated. And the idea is that I always wanted to make a platform, like I wanted to make a place for artists to feel inspired to give something back.
Sick.
You know, I don't want to, I could pay for murals, but it's a totally different vibe if you pay for murals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's not like that. I just want, I'm honored that anyone wants to be a part of what's going on at Bodega. And in fact, a lot of the artists I'm seeing in your walls have done something with the Bodega, and that's just so cool to me. To me, it's like the ultimate data point. It's the ultimate feedback is, look, it's one thing that people come and shop there. That's like, we don't live without it. But when the artists, which are like a next level representation of the people, decide, I think you're okay, you're worthy of my art, that's bigger than that.
That's awesome to think of it like that. That's so awesome to think of it like that.
And I think that it ends up being mutual because, like, I'm always highlighting people's heart, and I'm like, yo, and this guy, he's, you know, like, he was drunk for like 15 years. Then the past 5 years he's been sober. That's where he found art. He doesn't, like, I love telling their stories. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And I love honoring their pieces, and I like walking people through. We tell people all the time, take pictures in front of the murals, or we'll even take them for you because they change out over the years, so you get family photos for free in your hood, like of changing murals as your kids grow. It's dope, you know?
Yeah,
it's dope.
Yeah.
And look, here's the funny thing. I don't know the business effect of all this. Like, it doesn't seem to really bring in a lot of money doing all this stuff. It costs a lot. And I don't know, like, none of this is known. It's not quantified, the results of this. However, I have a feeling that by just putting a lot of good out there, it'll create even more good. And that's enough. So we do it on faith.
Yeah, man. I mean...
You know?
Man, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just listening. like I enjoy hearing what you got to say, man.
Why, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what to say. What do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to talk about? I wish you had callers. Like, we would take a caller now.
I've been wanting to do like a Discord during this. I'm trying to find someone to like run it because everyone gets mad if I take a picture. They're like, "Why were you on your phone?"
No,
Like my producer's
no.
always talking shit to me. He's like, "You were on your phone for like 2 minutes. What were you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, I was taking pictures, posting shit. Like, I'm sorry." Like,
That's the nature of the beast. We feel the same
But,
way. If I'm in the store and I'm like ordering beer or whatever, or answering a vendor question, I can see people like, "Oh," and I'm like, I feel horrible.
It's like, dude, you got to do it a little bit.
It's actually
you got to
why
do
we
it
don't
sometimes.
answer the phone. Again, I was telling you about the philosophy. Like, we were deliberate about the philosophy of how the store is going to feel. And one of those things is that we will never, ever prioritize the telephone over the person in front of us. Even if the telephone is $1,000 order waiting to happen, and this is the 5-cent piece of gum. The fact that you, again, spent your time to come in here and talk to me honors me. I'm honored that you would visit my spot. Like, thank you. And so even if you're not buying anything, I will return that honor by paying attention to you.
By giving you that respect.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it's funny that this is like a foreign concept today, because the place I really learned this, like, respect, was the west side of San Antonio. You know what I mean? Like, so there ain't no more, like, that's the currency here. You understand? It's the currency. And either you pay it and you understand it, or you're not even playing the game and you're a non-factor. So that's the idea, is that, and you know, what's funny is we have had a lot of celebrities come through, and I'm not saying that like, you know, to brag or whatever. I'm actually, it's the opposite. It's all sort of embarrassing. Lisa's never recognized them. It's a customer who says, "Do you know so-and-so?" Or "So-and-so posted about you," or that, or whatever. Or they'll say that "I saw so-and-so here." Things like that. The Chainsmokers were in there when they were playing Austin City Limits, I guess, or some big show up in Austin, and Lisa didn't recognize them. We've had many sports people in, and here's the thing: even if we did recognize you, we're not going to talk about it. And we're not gonna like, if
you're gonna let them shop.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, I don't care if you're just out of the joint and you're all tatted up. I don't care if you're a cop in uniform. I don't care if you're one of the Spurs. Everybody is treated equal. The only VIPs are the kids.
Hell yeah,
that's it. And if you can get with that, you're gonna love it here. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a great time here. If you can't, because you got to be the center of the show, you're not gonna like it. You know what I mean? And that's the only time we have problems, is when, you know, knuckleheads don't understand. Like, you're going to have to wait a minute because I'm going to talk to this kid. You know what I mean? Like, and we're going to let them work out their change and get it just right, you know, so that they feel confident in financial transactions, which helps all of us. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the idea. And sometimes that's hard. You know, like, here's a really hard one. Sometimes a kid, usually a young one, will buy a bunch of stuff or put a bunch of stuff up there that they don't have the money for.
Yes.
And the person behind will often, very kindly, because it's that kind of a place, will offer to pay. And we often ask them not to. The reason is we have a relationship with that kid. And over the course of years, we're working on teaching them money, finances, and responsibility. By coming in and swooping in one time and giving them cash because they're cute, you're actually undoing a lot of what I'm trying to teach. Because in a minute, that's going to stop. You know what I mean? That money train of like, I smile and I'm cute and so I get free money, that stops. And so I'm trying to teach people as best I can. No, here's like how you do it, how you manage, how you plan for tax and that kind of stuff. And they love it. They love, because again, you know what you're actually teaching is respect. I respect you enough to teach you, to expect you to know how to do this. You respect me to get your money straight. Like, this kind of mutual thing. So that is just like one of many lessons that you know what the result of it is? When the kids grow up and they get their first debit card, they always want to come back and use it with us.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, again, it's like, that's when they turn 21, we're at the place they want to buy their first beer. We didn't expect any of that to happen, but that's like the result of kind of like helping people and appreciating them. You know what I mean? And what I'm saying by helping is like, you know, helping them to fish as opposed to just giving them a fish.
Yeah. I get you. I love that on your days off, how y'all been highlighting places.
Oh yeah. So that's something I was talking about with you again before the show. Is we were talking, you know, we like brainstorm all the time. Like, what else could we do? Like, what else?
I mean, you got a big platform. Your platform grew.
Well, that's actually why. So we use the outside of the store to help small businesses start up, and we don't charge them, right? And the idea is that we've always believed. I have an upstairs apartment in the house that I own, and so I have a rotating theme of people that have lived up there that were helping out. The theory is that whatever you have, you know, if you're not using it or whatever, you use what you got. You know what I mean? Like, use what you got to do what you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So when we realized that we have like an audience now, we're like, well, what else can we do? And I don't want to be, so I never want to be like disingenuous. I don't want to be like sponsored posts or, you know what I mean? Like, and it's easy to go that route. There's all kinds of offers to go that route.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like, you know, public service announcements, like, and don't forget to, you know what I mean? Like, that's not where I'm trying to go either. So how do you be like, hey, I got them Cheetos, and be good to people and real? And so we were brainstorming, and I came up with this idea that I wish that instead of counting the likes we got, you counted the likes you give. Or at least you got a ratio. Like in a video game, you get a kill to death ratio. Uh-huh. You know how well you're doing based on do you die more versus the people you kill. Sorry, it sounds morbid, but that's the way it works in video games. Yeah, if you're not a gamer, that sounds horrible, but that's the way it works. It's a KTD. It's a big time stat. Anyone that's into first-person gamers understands what's going on. But I wish you had a likes given to likes taken stat. What I'm saying is, if we were to give more love, I think that we would all end up happier. I think everyone else would be happier. It's the reason that I'm always trying to put out more comments. Hey, good job. Happy anniversary. Congratulations from Bodega. More comments than I get is because I believe that not just we would be happier, but I think like the key to financial success is giving more. You know? And so I know that sounds weird. And my background is like counting the beans really hard and Wall Street and all that stuff. But this is what I'm saying is I've done that enough to learn that that's not the best, most happy path to success. You know what I mean? You can get there, but, you know, you die young and people don't like you. So,
yeah,
you know, so that's the idea. That's the idea is just, again, to spread some love through this series that we call We're Closed Today, But You Know Who Isn't. And to find different businesses and things to do in San Antonio or around San Antonio that are open and we just think could use some highlighting, you know, and stuff that we're into.
That's dope. Like, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, you know, the tricky part is, again, like being very real about it. So if we don't mention it, like we go a lot of places and I don't mention them because it wasn't stellar. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say anything negative. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you're not going to have like a mediocre review from me. I'm not like, and I found the tea was just not hot enough. You know what I mean? That's not my vibe, man. You know, like I'm not, but you know, like if I think something's dope, just like the stuff in the store, like I'm happy to share it with you. You know what I mean? Like, and even better, I hope to run into you there. That'll be cool. You know, so one of our early ones was like this really nice restaurant downtown that we love, and we've been there a couple of times. And the last one was the complete opposite of the spectrum. It was a highlight of our favorite Chinese buffets. My dad likes a good buffet, you know? Got to get dad what he likes.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. Is it's a collection of just cool stuff in San Antonio that we think is worthy of your time.
That's. I like that you do that.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up.
Cool. Thank you, man. It's
like, I love how genuine it is, too. When I was reading the review of the Chinese restaurant, I was just like, oh, damn, like... Hell yeah.
You know, it's funny, that one is we read it over and over and over. I'm glad you read it, actually. So here's why is sometimes I feel like I'm writing to her. You know what I mean? It's like me writing to her. You know what I mean? And like nobody reads this, right? They just want to know like how much are those Cheetos. So it really it warms my heart when you know you watch the video or you read the captions. We do take it really serious.
I mean, that's cool. Dude, thank you for taking me to Lone Star that one day.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Like that was so one day I got to go to Lone Star with my friend here, his wife, and another individual, and it was the first time I went to Lone Star where I didn't have to like sneak in or do anything like that. I got to go in and just check it out. It was
through the front door.
Yeah,
how about that? Yeah,
through the front door. That was intense. Yeah. It was insane. I went recently. They tore a lot of it. Yeah, I know. It's gone. Totally different. Between it getting burned down and everything, it's just gone.
See, so there it is again. Right there in that moment was the good old days.
Yeah.
The weather was perfect. The conversation was fantastic.
It was a good day. Like, yeah, man. The weather was good that day.
It was a good day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
didn't fall in a hole.
No. There was no injuries. No one was arrested. You know what I mean?
That's another good... Dude, I've been in there when, like... I remember one time I'm on the 3rd floor, this big room, and I hear like, so I tell my homie, yo, get down, get down. So we're just hugging the floor, and we see like this kid running and this cop on a bike chasing him.
That's great. Up on the 3rd floor.
We just like we had to hide there. We were leaving. We saw the cop again. We were all in the single file line, and like I remember I stopped and everybody just ran into me. It was like Scooby Doo.
It's really dark. People don't realize too that it's really dark in there.
Yeah.
Even during the day it can get dark, but at night it's really dark.
Yeah.
But no, that was a friend of mine that was working on the development at the time, which I think is now it's no longer being developed or whatever. But it's the latest failure of the Lone Star that's happened in the long series of failures.
I just believe that place is just gonna get torn down smaller and smaller,
and they're gonna put apartments there.
Yeah,
one day. Like lame ass apartments. Anyway, it's so at the time when my friend was involved in it, he was talking to me about that. Like he was trying to convince their team to have like an authentic connection with the street art that was all over the place in there. So if you walked around the inside of Lone Star, it was covered in amazing artwork. It was its own living gallery of San Antonio street art, and it recycled out like all of the great artists here, and there were some really cool pieces and stuff, like iconic stuff in there. And so they were hoping to incorporate that into whatever they developed down there. And so when he told me that at lunch one day, I was like, I know a guy you got to meet. You know what I mean? So that was how we built that connection. And that goes back to my point is, I know them developing that thing is a long shot, and them genuinely incorporating street art on a legitimate way and not commercializing it and turning it into some bullshit is also a long shot. That's an even longer shot. However, I know that my friend Peter is way changed and for the better for having spent an afternoon with you. And I know that your whole mind is completely opened up to possibilities from having spent an afternoon with him.
Yeah.
And that connection is what it's all about.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's so crazy what's going on with that building.
I know. Well, really, like all of San Antonio is going through this massive transformation.
Oh my God! Don't get me started. Like I feel bad for my boy Aaron. Squeeze was doing squeeze. Like
Yeah.
Like I just don't get it. I just don't understand why the city just. I don't know. I guess money talks.
Yeah, I think the whole thing ends up very complicated. The one thing I can tell you is that I've been in all sorts of situations. Like I've been on a lot of different sides of the desk and things like this.
Uh-huh.
And genuinely speaking, there's no evil one person anywhere stroking their white cat. You know, it's kind of like a lot of malfeasance that people have inherited and now are trying to fix with the limited shitty system they have. And so I don't fully blame the city or the current people, but I do look forward to us fixing this real soon, real well.
I just want to see it done. Like,
you know,
like
I am a little annoyed that they spent the money instead of just giving it to the businesses. They spent the money on making a video about how good. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, they're supposed to be sit down on the strip. They got some money, like I guess to help, or part of the grant was to help offset the cost to the businesses.
Uh-huh.
And rather than just split the money up to the businesses, they did some kind of thing where they made a video about how it's going to help the businesses when it's all done. Anyway, I don't know the details. Clearly I don't know the details, but it seems to me that we don't need any more media. You know what I mean? Like, we just don't need.
Everybody knows about the problem.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that actually comes back to my point. That's why we don't, at our business, we don't do any kind of marketing or anything like that. It's just, I really feel like after a lifetime of it, that there's enough of it. Like everything's a commercial these days. In fact, that's actually going back to our philosophy of how we made the store. Our marketing philosophy is these sort of three statements. These days, everything is marketing except us, and that's going to be our marketing. You know, and we'll let that speak for itself. And I kind of, that's the same approach that I would prefer we take with stuff like that. Yeah,
I got you.
Politics in general.
Man, that box is epic.
Yeah, so it's funny too. You know, it grows in appeal as your hunger grows. So,
Dude, I cannot wait to
yeah.
can't wait to hit the bong and just dig into that.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, don't sleep on the cakesters.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is the sleeper hit. I'm telling you, because everyone's like, I don't know, it's just like barbecue, and sometimes I love a good exotic, like, you know, crazy flavor from wherever, right?
Uh-huh.
But just as original and rare is absolutely nailing a classic. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
You know, look, it was tamale season recently.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, I had some good tamales this year, man.
From where?
Uh, People's Kitchens.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
like,
yeah.
and you know what's funny is like people get into a tamale competition. I was like, oh man, tamales, you know, I really appreciate this. We've got so many, and like, and people will say, I know, but those were my sisters. Mine are better. You know what I mean? Like, and so yes. I love the a really flawless execution of a classic thing. You know, and as much as I love an exotic crazy or whatever, and the first time I try a new place that has like cheeseburgers or whatever, I always order the standard cheeseburger. I feel like you have to, like, before you've earned the exotics and going in the crazy flavors, I need to know that you know how to, you know.
That you know how to cheese my burger.
Yeah, don't give me like, you can't do impressionism until you have realism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, gotta nail the originals, and that's done well.
Man, thanks for sitting with me today.
I'm honored to be here, man.
This was a pleasure. Like,
If nothing else, you leave with good snacks, okay?
hell no, this conversation was great. It was good hearing about you. It was good kicking it with you. I hadn't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. It's really kind of you. Like I say, it was. I got really sick for a minute, and then I couldn't be there very much. And now I'm allowed to come back little by little. But I'm really happy to be here. It's here. I'll leave you with this story. The doctors, they you know, there's a lot of time. There's a lot of thinking in the hospital. I don't know if you've ever been in the hospital for a minute, but it's the first time I was ever in the hospital for like 10 days. There's a lot of alone time and quiet time, and it sucks.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's usually when something bad's happening to you, so there's a lot of thinking and, you know, philosophizing late at night at dark. It's sad, you know, it's depressing is what I'm saying, all right?
I got you.
I'm like,
I got you.
why is this happening? Blah, blah, blah. And after the surgery, the doctors came by and he said, hey, man, what are you going to do now? And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, after a thing like this, a lot of people make a big life change. You know, like some people retire, other people, you know, take up golf, you know, some people get divorced. And I was like, man, I hadn't even thought about it. So I spent the next couple of days in those quiet moments thinking, you know, what do I want to do? You know what I mean? Like, what is my big change? And after a lot of thought and really kind of getting down to it, I realized this is what I want to do. It took me 45 years to get here. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I want to do. So I'm really honored to be here. I'm very happy to be back. And I'm really excited. And I feel blessed to be able to talk to you.
Well, I mean, you take care of the hood. The hood's going to take care of you. Like, I can't stress how much I appreciate you being around. Like,
man,
I remember hitting you up. Like, are you good?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
No, it's you're right, man. And I tell you, not to get like religious about it and whatever, but you know, you hear the saying like the power of prayer will lift you up. I'm telling you, what got me through the darkest of this was people's comments and visits and the little cards they left. And I mean, like, you know, I knew we were helping out and stuff, but the things that people said, like, it just, you know, I realized how much of an impact we made. And then it made me have the strength to be like, oh, well, we can't quit now. You know what I mean? So really, before this sort of wave of love came in from the people, I felt lost and alone. I was L1 all over again, you know?
Thanks for sitting with me today.
Oh man, thank you. I'm honored. It's a good time.
I need to plug my sponsors real quick. Shout out Gemini Vato.
Oh man, that's the homie right
Shout out Lil Elephant.
Love him. We got a stop sign from him in the store. Dope. Everything he touches is dope.
Right? He's great. I mean, he recently, like, I feel bad. His studio, he just recently got displaced. He has to be out by the end of the month, and it's just like, So it's cool trying to see what he's trying to create. He has a good opportunity. I'm gonna let him come on here and talk about that. But
Can't wait.
shout out Digital Pro Lab 22223. Your boy's gonna be teaching a class at Digital Pro Lab. I'll be posting about it. I'll let y'all know. It's next Friday. My homegirl Dom's gonna start her collage class. That should be a lot of fun. If you got time on Mondays, come to the Overtime Theater. Come do some improv. And I love y'all.